the Open Call 5. It's about green and scalable and sustainable DLTs. And a little bit about TrustChain. TrustChain is a European project, Horizon Europe Research and Innovation Program. It's a member of the European Commission Next Generation Internet. And this project is a cascade funding project, which is launched back in January 2023. In total, there will be it's funded with 8.7 million, and will be mentoring international experts in the field, access, driver support, and services. The overall objective of the project is to achieve a human-centered, trustworthy, and sustainable decentralized internet, to empower innovators and end users through 5 open calls to create a portfolio of next generation internet protocols and an ecosystem of decentralized identity management software solutions. The goal is that this is gonna be transparent to the user, interoperable, privacy aware, regulatory compliant, and it can be seamlessly integrated and interoperable with an existing and decentralized applications. So in the next slide, here are the 5 open calls. This one is the last one. In the first one, we had call and regarding the digital identity. So 15 projects, around 15 projects were selected for each one of these calls so far. The first one was projects related to digital identity. The main focus on the second one was about user privacy, data, and governance. The main focus for the third one was about economics and democracy. The fourth one, which was launched around a month ago, and it's the most recent one. It has to do with multi-chain support and for NGI protocols. And for this one, for the last one of the project, Open Call 5, we will be expecting to see proposals related to green, scalable, and sustainable DLTs. So going to the next slide. There are going to be some extra details about this call. The launch was on the 11th of November, and the application will be expecting applications until the 15th of January at 5 p.m. In total, we'll be distributing 1.9 million, and we aim to select up to 17 projects. So this is pretty much 117,000 per project. The goal for this call and what we do expect to see is basically we want to employ digital identities, trustworthy data, and already designed novel mechanisms for ecosystems economy in order to achieve high energy efficiency and optimization of particular DLTs. We're looking for the most appropriate, relevant, and pertinent trade-offs between the use of technology, the security of consensus protocols on the side, and the sustainable requirements on the other. You are invited also to submit your proposals on any topics that service the Open Call 5 vision and objectives with as minimal requirement. So basically, you have to adopt a co-creation process with users from requirements allocation till validation, use standard technology for full stack development, be open source and desirably reach TLR 7, and extend the state of the art in the domain of green and scalable and sustainable DLTs. In this call, as we said before, we do expect to see some of these categories. We do want to develop energy efficient and conscious mechanisms. We want to design and implement conscious mechanisms that reduce energy consumption, potentially moving around the proof of work while ensuring security and trustworthiness of DLT systems. Introduce sharing for scalable decentralization, implements sharing techniques to divide the network into smaller energy-efficient groups of maintenance, drastically lowering energy usage while maintaining the security and integrity of the entire DLT network. These techniques could be related or employ deep-in inductive mechanisms and approaches. We want to see optimized data management for energy reduction, explore methods for use data removal to reduce the storage demands of DLTs, allowing for the safe deletion of obsolete data and maintaining the integrity and reliability of the ledger, and enable consensus-less DLT functionality. Investigate the implement system that perform DLT functionalities without requiring communication between miners, eliminating the need for costly consensus protocols and drastically reducing energy consumption. Ensure interoperability and scalability. Develop solutions that maintain openness and ensure that optimized DLT systems can seamlessly interact with existing infrastructures while ensuring scalability to accommodate future growth without increased environmental impact. Moreover, innovative deep-in solutions can enable scalability and sustainability are envisioned. Energy efficient and interoperable smart Oracle solutions. You have to develop scalable decentralized Oracle solutions that exploit the capabilities of AI, ML, and machine learning while energy efficient and ensuring the reliability and integrity of real world data. Interoperability with legacy systems, including legacy identity systems, is important. Also important is investigating the trade-offs between energy efficient and other performance metrics such as latency and number of Oracle nodes. Energy efficient trusted enclaves. So basically, we need you to develop solutions and mechanisms towards energy efficient trusted enclaves, potentially involving secure decentralized processing, secure multi-party comparison, ZKP-based analytics, etc. And energy efficient cross-chain bridges, develop resilient and highly available bridging solutions that support interoperability and seamlessly integration of multiple DLT-based ecosystems. These bridges should facilitate state data asset exchange, privacy-enabling mechanisms, and digital identities across multiple chains. The solutions can utilize mechanisms such as the reputation, data aggregation, and ensure trust while increasing energy efficiency. Energy efficiency applications develop applications that make use of decentralized technologies and significantly impact energy efficiency, circular economy, and sustainability, token strategy and sustainability. Example, green certificates, digital product passports, etc. Embedded and embodying philosophical concepts of indigenous populations that can be used to achieve sustainability and trustworthiness in the context of climate change are also possible, or related to 5CSI for sustainability. Consciousness, conservation, community, commerce culture. Examples of applications may include, for example, but not limited to Destination Earth program. At this point, I want to tell you that all of these are basically examples of what we would expect to see in this call. But if you do have another solution or another idea that it seems to be related to sustainability and greenness, we are happy to, you are more than welcome to apply, and we will be happy to receive this kind of applications. What are the challenges you should consider and tackle? So here are a list of challenges that you should consider. And these are energy intensive consensus mechanisms, trustworthiness versus efficiency trade-off, on-chain, off-chain data management, integration of digital identities, compatibility with existing DLT infrastructure, oracles and cross-chain bridges, oracles for green certificates, energy efficient trusted enclaves, energy efficient DPINs, token strategies for sustainable goals, balance between privacy and sustainability, adaptation to the circular economy and waste reduction, and efficient use of underutilized resources. What do you need to explain in your application? So the proposal that you will be sending, it's going to be a 10-page proposal, so keep that in mind. You should not exceed the 10 pages, the 10 pages limit, and during these 10 pages, you should address all of these topics. So basically, we want to see the specific open call challenges your solution will address. We want to see the specific technological innovation you propose to develop and how it is clearly different from alternative solutions that are available in the market or developed by previous EU research and innovation actions. The specific user-centric approach and co-creation process you're going to implement. Keep in mind this one is something that we really want to see in your application. So in all of the projects that we receive so far, we want the user to be in the center of the application. So anything that you do, keep in mind that you satisfy the user. You see their you satisfy the user. The specific user privacy and data governance needs or challenges you propose to address and who would benefit from it immediately and the longer term. The specific legal and regulatory framework you're going to follow contribute to, whether the innovation will focus on development or of new solutions for existing areas or totally disruptive approach or idea. Any work you have already done to respond to this, for example, if the project focuses on developing an existing capability or building a new one, any challenges or opportunities related to equality, diversity, ethics, inclusion arising from this project. And you should also explain how your proposal solution will align with the building block development as part of the open call 1, 2, 3, and 4. The user privacy, data governance, economics, all of these are the previous calls: digital identity, user privacy, data governance, economics and democracy, multi-chain support for NGI protocols, and as well identify and justify how the proposed solution or specific services and modules provided by it can be used by other service and application developers of the TrustChain ecosystems. In order to apply, you should access this link that you can see here. It's devsuccess.com TrustChain Open Call 4, and it should be wrong here. It should be under the Open Call 5 and apply. As we said, the deadline is January 15th, so keep that in mind as well. And you should provide a comprehensive research proposal according to the TrustChain template that it is provided, and instructions set in the guidelines of the applicant. Fill the administrative part, including any obligatory supporting documents specified in the guide for applicants. Tips and tricks for good proposal: read carefully the TrustChain Open Call 5 document and guide for applicant. Check carefully the eligibility criteria. Take a look of FAQ on our website and use official Open Call 5 template for your proposal. And TrustChain will offer you equity free funding, coaching on technical business aspect, access to top infrastructure, and as well as visibility, promotion, support, and networking. Basically, during the 9 months, equity free funding will be provided to you, results based on payment according to the preferable KPIs, you will be having free access to Alastria blockchain infrastructure compliant with Ethereum, coaching and support services by access to various expertise for scaling up innovation business. You'll be having visibility and promotion towards the TrustChain community, and networking, of course, by access to a wider NGI community, matchmaking service between innovators, connections with some accelerators and or venture capitalists for the ones who end up implementing the solutions.
So today we have with us one of the winners of OC2 to tell you his experience while developing his own project as part of Open Call 2. So probably he will give you an insight of what we are aiming for here, what kind of solutions and what were the challenges and the way that we work. Also, regarding the presentation from Spiros, I want to clarify that in case that you have some existing solution and you want to apply, you have to clearly specify this as a background solution that you have, and describe a clear separation of the advancements that you are going to build on top of that, so that you deserve the funding for in terms of OC5. I mean, we will not fund solutions that are already there and no significant developments or no advancements or no kind of worthy new developments are going to be done. So we want to have some substantial new developments on top of existing probably software. Not always, if such a solution exists. Otherwise, you can develop something from scratch or out of a research paper or something like that. So I will pass the floor to Erel now.
So my name is Erel Rosenberg. I'm presenting a project called UtiP-DAM. This is one of the NGI OC2 call, which was focused on user privacy, data governance, and user privacy. The problems that we address in this project is the fact that raw mobility data after anonymization is actually not secured anymore because of use of AI technology. And especially when we talk about decentralized sharing of data, the problem will become even bigger. So I know it's a little bit abstract. Basically, in the past, when we have some data, the way to de-anonymize the data is to look at the data at some from weaknesses and then find out who is behind the data. But with the AI, the way to de-anonymize data becoming a little bit different. The AI collects a lot of information, and then he just try to integrate the data into his existing data, and that's make everything very complex in terms of data privacy. So, for example, if an AI is taking data from social media and from different kind of resources, it can know almost everything about you. When you enter to a place, when you go out, when you do things like this. Specifically, if you have a data set which is completely anonymized, this is MRT card. It's like the old UK Ulster card, meaning you buy it from a machine or from in a shop. You don't have to identify. You don't have ID, anything. And you just go and go around the underground whenever you want. And the data itself basically is fully anonymized. Yet if we make a cross correlation with the data from coming, for example, from social media, we can identify who is behind the car quite easily. And in our case, we show that in some cases, it's enough to have 2 points to identify the person. The literature says that normally 3 points are enough. But basically, there is a problem. So data that considered to be anonymized are not anonymized anymore. What we have done, so basically the solutions that we get called k-anonymity is basically not try to anonymize the data, but to hide the person in the crowd. So if there is a huge crowd and you are hidden inside the crowd, you are actually anonymized. Nobody knows who you are. And we solve a special problem that if you use this methodology and try to do it in a decentralized ways, practically in our case in edge sensors, it is still possible to get your data by combining multiple data sets. So even if each data set is anonymized, if you combine them together, as a result may be that your identity is exposed. So what we have done, we make the devices to talk one with each other to make sure that only minimal amount of data pass. And we make some methodology or techniques to make sure that it is not possible to identify the data from one sensor on the other sensor. So we change it and we make sure that the data cannot be reverse engineered. We also find a solution for a problem that was not part of the project, which is that the fact that according to GDPR, someone can come and ask you, what do you know about me? And when he is doing it, he has to be identified because you must know that you are giving the information to the correct person. And with our solution, there is no need to identify the person. He can do it completely anonymously. And if he can ask for another person, it's still not a problem because all the data is fully anonymized. This is a function we call Find Me Here. And this is a very user-centric function. So let's focus, because the project is already done and it's focused on a specific topic, so it's less relevant for you. So what I will try to do is to give some of our tip and background information, what is useful and what you should do and what you should not do. So we started with a very mature system. So we had hundreds of deployment, a lot of sensors, thousands of sensors. And our significant part that our current or old system was a cloud-based system, meaning sensor reporting to cloud. And we were in the middle of integration to move from cloud to edge because customers are wanting it and so on. And actually, the project UtiP-DAM solved us some of the problems on this kind of migration. We also become part of something called Gaia-X. It's a European data space initiative. And this is a direct result of what we have done here. So we were able to get data generated from sensors and make it completely anonymized, and then we can share it in a public way, which is coming from this one. For us, it's very important. And one last benefit that we achieved from the project is to do a very detailed, extensive performance analysis. So we know how much data we lost on this kind of information, how much data kept, what is the result that we expect. This is something, of course, we can do it always by our own, but usually when you are very stressed from a commercial project, you don't have the time to do it. So for us, this is the results, the benefits that we get from the project. How to make a successful proposal? Of course, everyone may think with his own idea. In my opinion, the first step is to make sure that you are aligned with the TrustChain objective. So you need to follow the slide that was talking about objectives and make sure that your proposal fits to it. You also need to make sure that the proposal fits to what the part that you want to do by yourself. So doing something that is useless for you just to get the funding is basically not a good idea, because normally the funding is not enough. It will not cover the works that you have, which you typically underestimate. So it's always better that your objective and the project objective will be aligned. There is also a need to be innovative, which was mentioned. So to offer something that you already have is probably will not work. But on the other hand, you cannot be too innovative. So if you try to do something completely from scratch and very innovative stuff, you may find that 9 months is not sufficient. So you have to be careful on this. Few tips for the implementation. When you are already getting the project, our experience says that the official timeline is very optimistic. So if you will try to follow it, you will not finish on time. You should try to make everything faster, because anyhow, there are a lot of unexpected things to do, which required more time that you expect in the beginning. And then a user-centric design is very important, and it's not always straightforward. It's very straightforward if you are doing a B2C project, but if you are not doing a B2C project, then it may be less straightforward. We spend a lot of effort and time to focus on this point, and we really use a lot and we invest quite a lot on this topic. Be careful and be aware that this is important, and you have to include it in your proposal. Finally, you can find what we have done under ngi.cscoil, and you're welcome to ask me questions at the end of the session.
So I will continue very quickly with my part. So I was serving as a coach for this project, for the project of Erel, as part of the NKUA team. So I'm going to share to you what is actually meant by NGI, our NGI TrustChain support for the projects. What does it involve? What does it mean? So we were saying about coaching support. So each project is assigned one organization as a coaching organization, but essentially there is a team of coaches basically which is assigned to each project. And then we schedule bi-weekly meetings with the projects, and also bi-weekly meetings among the coaches to synchronize of what is happening in all the projects, so that we can establish some bilateral collaborations between projects, which we also encourage very much. The coach is responsible to really resolve any issues of the project, technical and not technical, and also to be the first step of the monitoring process. But as I said, there is a cross monitoring of the process of the projects among the coaches, which happens in a bi-weekly coaches meeting. So what we do in these meetings, we provide a methodology and guidance for business development. Specifically, we help you clarify the value proposition, find your customers, find your revenue streams, the way to make money. We talk about tokenization aspects. We talk about pricing and business models. We identify competition. I mean, you do, and we guide you to do a comprehensive market analysis. We help you identify the cost streams and, in general, all the components of a business model canvas, making sure of the profitability of the approach. And we help you also identify the risks for success and perform a cost-benefit analysis with realistic tariffs regarding costs and benefits, so that you check the viability of your approach. Also, we provide legal compliance support. We have a team of a law firm on board, legal experts, and we can check, I mean, resolve any issues that you have or any doubts that you have regarding legal compliance. We can give you more insights on some complex regulatory frameworks that are often involved in this decentralized era. And we can aid you on data management for your solutions. Also, we offer user-centered design support, again, with a team of experts on UCD. Cyber Voluntarios is that, and the previous one was the law firm is TLX. We provide you guidance on how to select the users for your pilots. How many users do you need? Who do you need? How to engage with these users, how to recruit them if you have any trouble on recruiting users. How to elicit the user requirements, for example, how to construct questionnaires. We help you also to codify your use cases with the users, to see how to use these users to validate the key aspects and functionality of your solution and validate the UI, UX of your solution. As I said, we do this bi-weekly Scrum meetings in this kind of way, and also on a monthly basis we have a sprint meeting. I mean, these are some screenshots of these meetings. We have some technical discussions sometimes with this. We also monitor the progress of the solutions in GitHub boards, where we put the items in different lists. And finally, the whole work is organized in 4 deliverables, which are all associated with some milestones and some respective payments. So you submit 4 deliverables irrespectively of your structure of work during the proposal phase. So we ask you only for these 4 deliverables. The first one is about state-of-the-art and use cases analysis and preliminary software design. Second one is detailed software design and solution, and about implementation plan and user recruitment process and validation experiments plan. All this pass through some evaluation from the coaches, and you get the corresponding funding. Then at deliverable 3, you deliver the whole code at month 7, and some preliminary experimental validation, but also the comprehensive plan for the validation and experimental testing, demonstration of your solution, and the plan for the exploitation plan, also for your approach. And finally, you have a clean code at deliverable 4, full documentation, detailed and final business plan, and results of the experimental and user validation. So thank you very much.
I would be the person most probably that will help you with the implementation of the user-centric approach. So just for the purpose of making your proposals and preparing for applying to TrustChain, something that is very valuable to us is that you show us that you have the expertise in the team to carry out a user research for adjusting your solution to real users. So having a UX researcher within your team, or someone from, I don't know, if you're a university, from another department, if you're, for example, in a computer science department, so from another department that has to do with user experience research, or from social science field, help us to know that you're fit for the task. At the same time, please do not skip on at least briefly scheduling how will you first do a concept proof of your solution with users, then a pilot, and then a final validation. This is also something that we value when we see a proposal, that there is a sensible schedule on involving users from beginning to end, not just at one specific point. And that was all I wanted to really add. Hope it was useful for you.
How are the funds dispersed? Is it a certain amount over 9 months or at all once? So actually, as Thanasis mentioned, you have some mandatory deliverable, and according to the result and the quality of this deliverable, you have some percentage that are delivered to you. So you have a pre-financing, then you are paid for deliverable 2, 3, and 4. So the full amount is spread over the 9 months according to these deliverables. So next question, do you think a blockchain-based ERP or a bridge to blockchain for traditional ERP is useful?
First of all, I'm not sure that this idea would be part of this of the focus of this particular open call. So it doesn't seem to be related to sustainability in a way. So I don't see it fit. So if in general, combining ERP with blockchain is interesting, it depends on the application. You will, in general, argument towards the usefulness of a particular solution. Maybe there is a trust issue. Maybe there is a decentralized problem. Decentralized setting, sorry, where anchoring the trust of your ERP on a blockchain is relevant or useful. I cannot tell you about that. It depends on your particular use case. But in general, as far as I see it, if you don't connect it to somehow to the sustainability, it could be out of focus.
So is it possible a legal entity to participate in one call as the main entity and as a partner in another one of the same call with always a respect on the 200K threshold? So actually, I would answer on that. This is a very competitive call, and in the guide for applicant, there is a specific section on that. Actually, one legal entity should apply for only one proposal. It's not possible to be involved in two proposals. If the case, I just recall that there are some eligibility criteria, and this is part of the eligibility criteria. So if the case, if a particular legal entity is involved in two proposals, we will keep just one according to the timestamp of the submission of the proposal. And the other one, the proposal will be evaluated, but as if this particular legal entity was not part of it. So I hope it helps. I just, yes, please just look to the guide for applicant. There is a specific mention on that.
We are taking compliance by design approach here, let's say. So we don't go to the regulator and we say, do you approve this and stuff like that? But in advance, we understand very well the regulatory frameworks and we analyze the solutions with you, what you have in mind, and we let you know if this is going to be compliant or not. I mean, we have a definite answer on that. And of course, these are complex issues. That's why we have this law firm with us that is specializing in this regulatory compliance of digital solutions.
I can complement what Thanasis say. You are responsible for all ethics and legal aspects of your proposal. And
yeah, the responsibility, yes, but for the guidance and for the, let's say, feedback on this, yeah. I mean, we can provide early on without this having to go through the actual deployment and the ethical approval of any kind of regulator.
I do have a question, which is we are developing a project for food traceability, and you were looking for a blockchain to deploy it. We came across TrustChain, which have been used by other producers that do the same thing, and I would like to ask if this grant is if projects that are just applying the existing tools already and using TrustChain, if these projects are eligible. I can give you some more background about this project. So this involves 90% of the cereal producers in Portugal, and we are developing a solution that will be deployed in a blockchain, which could be TrustChain, that would help the whole supply chain to trace the origin and the sustainability indicators of the products across producers, distributors, and industrials. So this case, as I'm saying, this case is a pure application, and this is a process of co-creation with the local producers, with the industry, with the distributors. But I'm not sure whether you are looking for projects that are only applications.
Yes, we are. But the thing is that this application, as you stated right now, is not related to the call.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it's not related to
what...
the open call objective somehow. I mean, as Erel said previously in his presentation, and also Spiros in his own presentation, there are some specific topics, you have to link your application somehow to the objectives of the call. Because,
okay,
just let me say this because this is important also for others, that you may be focusing on one particular application, but I mean, the ideal thing for us would be that you have some components in your solution used by your particular application that would be also of a generic usefulness. Somehow you have to link it to one of the objectives of the call. Now, food traceability, of course, is an interesting application. We had this kind of applications in the past. If you look, I mean, there are some related applications like that, focusing on different aspects, like focusing on trustworthiness, or focusing on digital identities, or focusing on access control. We have one in OC4 focusing on data spaces. In this particular use case that you said, like food tracking, but for data spaces. So I don't know what's your particular focus. Okay, the application could be that, but what is the technology behind? Are you applying zero knowledge proofs? Are you doing something different, like some new tokenization method? Or, I mean, you have to link it to the call.
If there's no other question, I think we can finish this. The recording and the presentations will be available on the TrustChain website in the upcoming days. And I'd like to thank everyone that joined, and good luck with your applications.